guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective for the full moon in Capricorn, which will be at its peak at about 2:38 p.m. Eastern time on the 13th. So it'll be like mid-morning on the west coast of the United States and later in the day across the pond and other points around the globe. So do check your local listings. It will be a fabulous supermoon and probably the closest the moon will appear to the Earth this year. So a pretty big gravitational pull. Energetically, it will be felt by all. Most intensely, do I want to say intensely? Most impactfully by Earth and water signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? We have the Cancer sun opposing the Capricorn moon. So I'm going to read you a little bit about this lunation. So I hit the highlights. It's a rather intense one, as I said, and it's taking us all the way down into the death and rebirth principle because the moon will be very close to and in conjunction with Pluto, Lord of the Underworld, which does rule over death, rebirth, growth, change, transformation. So again, there are going to be some things that are pretty deeply buried that we need to dive the depths to bring to the surface so we can release it, which is part of what we do in the full moon. So being that we've got Pluto, the deepest, most transformative energy of change that we work with here on Earth, and this full moon's proximity to Pluto there, it's going to mean business. It's not going to be anything to trifle with. We have Mercury square Chiron. So Mercury is right near, I don't know, I got like a little hair bugging me, but that's okay. I'll continue. We've got Mercury very close to the sun, and Mercury is squaring Chiron, and squares are normally difficult energy, challenging energy, but the good news is that with it being a square between Mercury and Chiron, wherever the wounds are, we will be given the grace to give voice to it. I know. So things are going to be rising up to the surface, and they're going to be deep, and they're going to be difficult, and they're going to have us in all the feels. But the good news is that we've got that Chiron Mercury aspect of healing as we give voice to what is taking root so deeply within us on an emotional level. So we've got that. We also have Venus trining Saturn. And to me, that's lovely because Saturn's the great teacher. There are lessons to be learned. But with Venus in the house, it's about lessons around being open to love and intimacy. So I'm putting a pretty little bow on it right there. So note to self, this full moon can bring up changes at a very deep level. Some things that may need to be released are going to be very uncomfortable and emotional, but we've got some opportunities to speak to it and release it in a way that doesn't feel as threatening. If indeed anything kind of leaves right now, full moons often have things going away or things feeling like we're losing something. Please know that it is part of the longer range process of healing the old wounds and releasing it or letting go of it so that you can bring more love into all of your relationships. So what leaves, let it leave. What stays, let it stay. Mercury square Chiron is giving us both the support and also a kind of a demand to deal with things more directly, to speak to it, whether that's in your journal, whether that's on the phone, whether that's to a trusted friend or loved one, right? Getting it out of the depths and giving it voice or writing it out will be helpful. The next 2 days will be kind of powerful. Next 2 or 3 days, actually, as I'm recording this. I'm getting it up a day in advance, and we usually have that full moon energy for a few days before and after. But this moon is definitely likely to initiate some powerful change for many of us. So those are my notes. Do find out where Capricorn and Cancer are in your chart. Doesn't matter if there are any planets there. What you're looking for are the houses. Got it? So if you find Capricorn and Cancer, they're going to be opposite each other, right? Just where are they on your chart? Those houses are what the aspects of life that may be most impacted. For me, it's 6th house, 12th house. So it's work, service, duty, health versus the hidden self, 12th house, right? My suppressed and repressed energy. Yeah, I have Cancer, 12th house. That's a lot. But anyway, right? It kind of serves me well because the things I hide from myself are I'm doing so to protect me. It's self-protective. Yeah. Okay, let me pull from Sacred Traveler, where we've been, where we are. Wow. And where we're headed. Oh my gosh, this is so intense. Okay. So transformation's been the name of the game. We've been working. This is sort of, to me, then this means we're hitting that peak point with this particular moon so close to Pluto. This is exactly Pluto. The phoenix rising from the ashes, a fresh new way of living emerges. So this is the path we've been walking. Where are we now? Navigating by the stars, following our bliss. To me, it's a little bit less about bliss, and navigating by the stars is more about trust. Trust that we're on the right path, and wherever we have arrived, it's part of our journey. And going forward, finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. This is important because Capricorn, for all of its intensity and focus and dedication and ambition, right? Because it rules the 10th house of work, father, patriarchy, all that fun stuff. It is a very spiritual sign. The goat climbs the mountain to see farther, right? To have a better vantage point. And look at this tower coming up into the clouds with the mountains in the background. It's like where we're headed now, on the back of, riding the back of this full moon in Capricorn, is to that higher vantage point where we find sanctuary as we open to our spiritual source. My goodness, guys, you are delivering. Okay, so I'm working with your energy and you're all up for it. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll do a modified Celtic cross here. We'll look at the energy. It's a global energy. It's for the collective, so it's not sign-based, but it is time and date specific because of this lunation. 9 of Pentacles. So here we are, present energy. We're kind of on our own, doing our own thing. I like the 9 of Pentacles in this position because our state of mind is independent, autonomous, feeling a sense of, personal empowerment. Not really needing things. There might be things we want, but we know how to go about getting our needs met with the 9 of Pentacles. What's crossing us here is the Fool. I love it. Okay, so this fresh new way of living has emerged through our transformation, and now we're going to leap into the unknown. It feels very exciting, but with it there is some risk. It's taking us possibly out of our comfort zone. Oh my gosh, I love that. Aquarian energy here, right? The freedom-loving Fool. The freedom-loving Fool. We also have Uranus in the picture. Did I speak to that? I don't think I spoke to that with our this particular moon, but we do have Uranus very close to the North Node, and that's in some form of relationship. I forget exactly with this particular full moon. So expect the unexpected as we look toward the future. So what's crossing us is a need to assess the risk. Underneath, I love this, unconscious awareness is the sun, our happiness. Yes, there is bliss here. Follow your bliss. Okay, so maybe bliss is a part of it. But there is bliss here. There is feeling safe and protected in your vulnerability. Sun. Looking into the past, we have the 5 of Wands. There's conflict energy there. There's possibly some something that you came into competition with. Could be about the direction you were headed. Could be within the connection. Could be around the connection. Yeah, what's crowning us here is this Queen of Swords, the beautiful energy of the Queen of Swords, truth seeker, truth teller. I like the Queen of Swords here coming in our conscious awareness, because we already have the sun in our unconscious awareness, which is funny because this is usually moon energy and this is usually sun energy. But it's like, yeah, if I want to be happy and if I want to feel safe and protected in my vulnerability, which is also Cancerian, by the way, Queen of Swords, I got to kind of get real. This truth seeker, truth teller, Queen of Swords. I don't need to get all emotional about it. It's very practical energy. Yes, assessing risk in a way that's really kind of clear. So clear of purpose is the Queen of Swords. And wow, where are we headed? Judgment. Yes, this is more of that transformation that keeps coming up here. This is Scorpio, it is Pluto actually, which is about, it can be about reunion, but it's more about second chances, forgiveness, redemption, whether it's for ourselves, for the other, or between the two of us, since we're moving out of the chaos and conflict energy and towards something more, more forgiving and more gentle. So I like that. I'm just moving it over because I know I'm going to need some space over here in a bit. So let's go ahead and clarify this much. Nine of Pentacles and the Fool, please. Page of Pentacles, Judgment again. Wow, Strength card. So with regard to the Fool, I kind of feel this is speaking more to the Fool, right? Because we're showing up in that Nine of Pentacles. That's where we are. We're feeling kind of stable, settled. We know who we are. We know what we like. We get what we need. The Fool is inviting us in a new direction. Uranus, unexpected, kind of exciting. Very much, there's liberation even with the Fool here, but it's unknown territory. And so it's almost when I said we're assessing the risk before we leap, the leap is toward this reconciliation, right? Toward that reunion, toward that second chance, toward that forgiveness. And there's something new to be learned along the way, and we just got to get our game face on. With the Strength card underneath, it's gathering up all the courage and the confidence we need to take that leap. Assess the risk, yeah, but once you've assessed it, if it feels like it's something that would serve your highest good, you leap. Sun in our unconscious awareness. Queen of Swords again. Wow. Whew. Make no mistake. We've got people. I've got your energy here pretty much on lock. I'm feeling like no more messing around. It's a very straight shooter energy coming through, both consciously, and here she is unconsciously. Right? So it's still about seeking truths, looking for truth. Is this workable? Can we reconcile differences? Three of Wands, there's the anticipation, there's the manifestation, wanting the happiness, but trying to assess whether or not that's practical. Is it even practical for this connection? I'm going to say yes, because Queen of Swords out twice and the Judgment card out twice. I feel like if you are clear-eyed, Queen of Swords, about the pros and the cons, that's half the battle. It doesn't mean it's going to work out perfectly, but it means that you won't be hit with anything unexpected, right? Which is part of the archetype of the Fool. There can be unexpected things, and that's why the Queen of Swords is here to kind of like we're checking ourselves. Five of Wands in the past. Yes. Okay. So, story of our lives. I feel there's been a history of conflict with this King of Cups energy. A very loving person, for sure. Obviously the keeper of your heart. The problem with the the problem with the King of Cups is he often struggles to communicate those feelings. Feels them deeply, but kind of doesn't have the easiest time giving it voice. And therein lies the conflict, because the next card on top is the Knight of Swords. And I kind of feel like there was some, like you took issue with it. In this particular deck, this Knight of Swords looks a little angry, right? He's got blood on the end of the sword. You've got the tower exploding. You really feel the embattled energy of the Knight of Swords in this particular deck. So I'm running with that because we've got conflict here. And I sort of feel like whatever this King of Cups was not ponying up in terms of their feelings, their emotions, giving you any idea of what you're really working with, it kept you really out of balance. The Justice card underneath suggests that things have been out of balance and the fairness was absent. And here you are, like, quick to emote and express, and then you run up against somebody who either just isn't comfortable in that range or has had some really bad experiences and therefore censors themselves and holds back what they're truly feeling. Not to be punishing, but more as self-protective. Think of that Cancerian energy. This is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So not a person who is not emotionally available, but not always good at bringing those emotions right into the forefront so you have something to work with. And that can piss a girl off. Knight of Swords. Or a guy. I do feel like I'm talking to a feminine. As is most often the case. Not always, but... Right, okay. So, Queen of Swords, Seven of Wands. This is the conscious energy now. And the Death card. Yeah, I'm standing up for myself and I'm going to give voice to it. What are you giving voice to? Something that needs to change. There is that Plutonian energy. We've got the Death card, right? Growth, change, transformation, death, and rebirth. Right here. But standing up for yourself, I'm feeling like underneath it all, you're trying to sort through what you really want, the direction that you want to head. But before you do that, you will give voice to what needs to change so that you are feeling like you're being valued in the appropriate way, if that makes sense. The Queen of Swords doesn't really get too emotionally, too in the emotional weeds about it. So I'm kind of feeling there's that Mercury. Remember I said there's Mercury square Chiron. I'm seeing that Queen of Swords as that Mercury square Chiron, standing up for yourself, saying this is what needs to change. This is what bothers me. This is what I need more of. This is what I need less of. And here's the direction I'm headed. I know what I want now, even though this is underneath. I feel like it's what's pushing you to give voice to what you want the future to look like. Judgment. Yeah. I do feel you will be victorious here. Judgment. What's the forgiveness for? What's the second chance being offered here? The Five of Swords. Five of Swords and the Five of Wands are, not the greatest of energies, but I have a feeling like you kind of felt defeated and no more. Judgment does offer second chances and forgiveness, but here you're saying, yeah, you're either with me or you're against me. You're either with me or against me. You're for me or against me. And that Five of Swords can be game playing. It can be someone who is playing a zero-sum game. It's, I'm going to come out on top at the expense of everyone else. It doesn't always feel very good. So there may have been some game playing involved. Somebody here, King of Cups, could have, used their expression of emotion or lack of it as a shield, or a chess piece. It feels that way with that Five of Swords. But I do feel like you're saying, here's what needs to change. And if we're going to resurrect this connection, and if there's second chances, I'm moving forward and I'm not entertaining this anymore. Nope. Not going to be played, not going to be set up, not going to be defeated, not going to be torn down a peg, not right. But underneath, what's motivating you here is this Two of Cups, the connection. So it feels really good. What I want to do is continue the reading in the extended, so I'll tell you what that's going to be about. I leave these cards here because it's the main part of the theme of the whole reading. But I go around the zodiac, Aries through Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, so you can watch just for your own placements or for yours and your divine counterparts. And I have formulated the questions that each card will answer, or that we'll try to get an answer for, relative to this full moon. So the first question is, what is in need of being released from the depths? And that's either for yourself or for you in connection to this person. Okay? And then the second card is, how can you best speak to any wounded spaces? And again, speak to it, give it voice in the literal sense, or write to it, or speak to it in changed behavior. So however that resonates for you, how can you best speak to any wounded spaces? And the third card will be, what is your lesson for how to keep love and intimacy open? What's the lesson here? That's Venus and Saturn, right? What's the lesson? And it can just be for you, how to keep yourself open to love and intimacy, or between you and your beloved, coming through as a King of Cups, okay? So that's what I've got for you. Let me tell you who showed up energetically. Nine of Pentacles is Virgo. The Fool is Aquarius. The Judgment card is out twice. That's Scorpio, a card of Pluto. The Strength card is Leo, as is the Sun. Queen of Swords is out twice, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm saying she's Mercury in this reading. King of Cups can be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Think of the Cancerian Sun. The Knight of, the Justice card, I'm sorry, is Libra. And the Death card is also Scorpio. Chariot is Cancer. So we've got Cancer, Pluto here. Did I see any Capricorn? I did not. Did I see any Capricorn? Nope. Not here. But you know Pluto's here, so that's all that matters. Okay, so the link to the extended is below. It's a long one, so there is a description box at the point of purchase that has you can copy and paste the timestamps. If you are in the channel membership, it's clickable because that's on YouTube for you. And if you are in the all access pass for the extended, you do get this extended, but again, don't forget to copy and paste the timestamps. My gosh, I'm like very distracted right now, and it's taking me a moment to say things, so wish me luck. The link to the extended is below. I'll see you there. Bye for now.